Hello. Okay, so I'm just waiting for Jamie Love to jump on here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah. I am the co-owner of the Vegan Wellness Retreat. We're a raw vegan retreat that happens once a year, and we have a variety of speakers and presenters that come and join us. Today I'm going to be interviewing our videographer. Her name is Jamie Love. She's from the Raw Food World Meetups. Here she is. I think she's doing. Let's see. Any second. There she is. Hi, Jamie.
Hi.
Okay, let's see. There we go.
I can't see your
You
face.
can't see my face. Okay. Now can you see my face?
No,
No.
no.
I can see my face. Oh no.
You can see
I
me too?
can see you.
It's okay. We'll make do.
Okay. Thank you for being here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you
Good,
doing?
thank you. I was just introducing you a little bit and saying that you were going to be our videographer for next year's wellness retreat.
Yay! Well, I love doing this kind of stuff for my raw food meetups here in Los Angeles, so I know it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, awesome. So how about we start with just maybe you could tell a little bit about your story and how I know you're not fully raw, but you're definitely in the raw movement and passionate about raw foods. So maybe how you got into that sector and that field.
Yeah, so my journey with raw food started 13 years ago, and although I'm not eating raw right now or fully raw, I've been fully raw many times over the past 13 years. So I do have a lot of experience. I've done it. I've studied it and lived it. So right now, but I have always struggled with it. So I was always alone. I never had community. And when I moved to Los Angeles, I decided that I needed to be surrounded by like-minded people. Sorry, I need some water. And that is why I started my raw food meetup group here in Los Angeles. It was basically to have community, have in-person support, which I think is really important as opposed to simply just virtual, and helping to inspire me and hold me accountable with my own goals.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then how many, it's not just in, like yours is in Los Angeles, but there's how many other countries or places are doing them?
Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about how the Raw Food Worldwide Meetup started. So we started doing the meetups here in Los Angeles, and they started growing and getting really big. And we started having some influencers come, and then we started having guest speakers and vendors, and raw food restaurants coming and setting up their tents and bringing their food and things like that. So it started getting really big, and I didn't even plan any of this, but I started doing little reels of the events and putting music behind it, and they were just really fun, and people were sharing these reels, and people all over the world were saying to me, wow, I wish I could come to your meetup. I really, like, it looks so fun. Like, I wish we had this where I lived. And I kept telling people, just start your own meetup. But it wasn't the same, because it's like telling someone, well, do it, you do it. It's like they want to feel connected to what we're doing here in Los Angeles. They want to feel like they're part of this community. So I'm thinking, like, how can we branch out what we're doing here in Los Angeles all over the world? So I'm really into anti-aging and biohacking, and Brian Johnson lives here in Los Angeles. He's like this tech billionaire who's vegan, by the way, and he's trying to reverse his aging. He had these meetups or hikes that we went to, and he decided to take it globally. So he had a day where he was doing this like once a month, these global meetups. He calls them Don't Die, right? So it's Don't Die meetups. People who are his followers, or people who are doing like trying to do his protocol of anti-biohacking, are all gathering all over the world on the same day. And it just kind of like lit up like a light bulb in my mind, and I'm thinking, like, no one's ever done this in the raw food community. Like, how can we do this in the raw food community? So I brought the idea up because we had a little group chat going with the people, some of the people that came to our local meetup here. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have this idea. Like, what if we do this? And then we could get people and we can do it all on the same day. And I have like all these ideas going and they're just like, sure, yeah, maybe we could do that. I don't know how it would work. And, it's just, I didn't really like find anybody as excited to like want to try to plan it. So everybody kind of had like these roadblocks of like why, how hard it's going to be, or it's going to cost money, or we need resources. And I'm thinking it has to be simpler than that,
Yeah.
So I just started with, I put a post out on my own channel, like just a story on my post saying, like, hey, there's going to be a worldwide meetup March 9th. And for anybody who wants to host a raw food meetup in their city, let's all do it on the same day. I was like hoping that we would get like at least 5 cities around the world. I had no idea that it was going to just blow up and like everybody was going to be so excited about it and so passionate and like wanting to collaborate and build this. And everybody just started volunteering like, I want to host, I want to host, I want to host. And before you know it, we had we had 60 cities, I think the first time, and I think the second one we had over 70 cities hosting all over the world, all on the same day. And then I started the Instagram channel. I had to start a spreadsheet to keep track of everyone. Then I got the idea to create flyers, like uniform flyers, and just change the city for every person. Then we got, t-shirts, merch made. And this is just me. When I say we, it's me. I'm the only one. I'm the only one doing it. But I say we because I don't want to sound like me, But I'm like, send us your pictures. But really, send me your picture. And then, I started the Facebook group, and now we have, like 1,000 people in the Facebook group, and we have a messenger chat, where it's like different cities. Or different countries around the world where people are in the messenger chat can connect with each other. And it's so cool. It's so cool. Then, then I had the idea of everybody send me your picture, because I wanted the Instagram page to be not about me. I wanted it to be about everybody else, So I started doing Instagram lives with the hosts, to give them the spotlight, share their story, and, post all the pictures from the meetups. First I post all the flyers so you can see like a whole line of all the cities, like Sydney, New York, Miami, Los Angeles, like all the cities that are participating, and then have all the pictures of the groups, the meetup groups that all met up, like this is what's happening. All of us are doing this together, collectively. So it's really powerful when you think of it, like how it all came into play. But I really feel like there was some sort of a higher power guiding me through this whole thing, because I didn't even know that I had the confidence to be a leader in this type of way. The skills to be able to do this. Like I've never led a global movement before, it just like I had the idea and like something was just like, the ideas were just flowing through me. Like it was so divine how it all came about.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you talk about community and how like not just virtual community, but in-person community is so important. I can't agree
Yeah.
more. I think that's one thing that especially so before we were raw, we were whole food plant-based, which it's still really hard to find like-minded people in that whole food plant-based communities as well. But especially going raw, and that's the main reason we started the Vegan Wellness Retreat, is so that we could find like-minded people for our kids that were like-minded, and families, but also for my husband and I to find friends. And it was so cool. Last year we had only roughly around 60 people, and this year we're scheduled to have closer to 200. We already have roughly 65 people signed up, and we're 10 months out still. So, and out of those people that came last year, more than half of them and I still communicate like on a weekly basis. So that was really, really special. And a lot of them are coming back this year, which is great. It can be like a reunion type thing where we see each other once a year and really get to connect and just keep meeting more and more and more people. So that's why we started it and why we're doing it. And yeah, I'm so excited that you're going to be able to document it because that's something we lacked last year. Just like being
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
couldn't do everything, and I definitely didn't get as much like photography and videography as I wanted to.
yeah.
So yeah, so excited for
It's
that.
so funny because like at my events, you won't see me just like sitting around where well, now I do because I feel like I've kind of like already exhausted the whole my meetup here, you know.
Yeah,
Everybody kind of already knows what we do, the whole, you know, because now it's getting kind of repetitive. But you know, the first like I don't know, however many meetups or whatever, I was not sitting around. Like it was impossible for people to even talk to me because I was literally running around just capturing all the moments, you know,
yeah,
like to me, like that was more fun than just sitting there, like having conversation. I'm like, I could do that any day. Like I love like, you know, just like I don't know. I think I'm going to have so much fun doing it. And I'm so grateful that you are giving me the opportunity because as you know, I'm not a professional photographer, even though I do have like, I feel like I do have a skill and I have an eye and I went to film school and stuff, but I just have fun and I love doing it.
yeah. We're super excited. So that's a big perk this year is people are going to get to see themselves. Um, and then yeah, so moving away from, we'll come back to the retreat stuff, but I have some more questions for you just about, I mean, you're an inspiration and you, especially on your other page, like we talked earlier about reversing like aging and stuff. What would you say your like work, is there like a workout routine that you could share or like things that you do every day to like help stay healthy and look youthful?
Well, like I said, my diet hasn't always, you know, I haven't stayed raw, so I don't want to say that it's anti, or, you know, raw foods alone is the only way to like anti-aging or anything, but I do think it's the foundation. So I try to eat as raw as possible, but definitely just even just a plant-based diet, and in general is very youthful and also just regular detox, like simple things like skin brushing every day and tongue scraping every day and rebounding every day, sweating as much as possible. I do hot yoga, so I like to sweat. I like Pilates, resistance training, just keeping your body young and
Yeah,
youthful. And then your mind too. The body and the mind are connected. So when your body is strong and fit and youthful, like you're gonna feel vibrant. You're gonna feel like you can move. You're gonna, you know, you're not gonna feel tired like you want to sit around all day. And you're gonna, you know, I climbed a tree the other day. You know, I was with my 13-year-old daughter and we were with my friend and she has a 15-year-old son and me and her son climbed the tree,
well,
you know, and my 13-year-old daughter couldn't do
yeah,
that, but I could, you know?
awesome. That's
Yeah.
so
So
cool.
yeah, just being very youthful. Yeah. Like, I mean, it doesn't really matter what kind of fitness, as long as you're moving your body, you're keeping your spine healthy and you're staying flexible.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, at the retreat, we're gonna have Pilates, so you'll get to meet. Her name's Barbie. She's awesome. She was at our charity game
Oh, I spoke
last.
with her.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did?
Well, we just messaged. Like she was the one telling me when you guys had the
Oh
last one. She took the sent me the
yeah,
picture.
yeah.
Yeah, because you guys had the retreat during the one of the raw
Yes.
food meetups. Yeah.
So she came last year as a guest, and then this year she was like, "How can I help? I want to join." Like so she's coming again, but she's actually going to be teaching Pilates and doing a couple other workshops. So we're super excited about that. We're gonna have yoga every morning. It won't be hot yoga, but it will be yoga. Um, and then we have a ton of other wellness activities. I'm sure you've looked at our website, but we'll have breath work, we'll have sound bowl meditation. There's going to be some grounding walks and forest meditations. And then obviously all the presenters and speakers. And your husband is helping with uh, those, correct? Like we're going to have him on the tech equipment so that all of
Hmm.
the presenters and speakers can be heard and seen properly.
Hmm. Yes, yes,
So
yes.
we're excited for that. I'm trying to think. What else? Is there anything like you think you want to share as far as like that to people who are maybe struggling to stay healthy or stay raw or stay on the plan, even though they have a why? Maybe sometimes it's hard to remember that why, what you would, because you've been doing this for 13 years.
I say remove the struggle. I say the struggle is in the
Yeah.
struggle. Like I think we all have this we will all want to be perfect. But what I've learned in my journey of going back and forth is for me, just finding a balance that works for me and not having expectations that are going to um, I don't know, make me wallow in guilt or shame, because this is a journey of self-love. Our diet can be a very, very spiritual practice. And for me, I have learned so much about myself in this process over the past 20 years, actually, when I first discovered the plant-based vegan lifestyle. So I'm a completely different person. And even though you feel like you might be making mistakes along the way, you are progressing forward. And when you look back like many years prior, you're going to see that you have come such a long way. So celebrate your wins, give yourself grace in those hard moments, and just keep moving forward. Don't give up, because we're looking for long-term success. This isn't like some fad diet, where you're going to try it for a little while. If you try, raw foods for a year and a half and you fall off, do whatever you have to do to get back on, even if I'll tell you a story, okay? When I first went raw, I went raw for about 9 months. And I'd never ever tried to go like eating this healthy. So I didn't do the work, the inner work that I needed to do. And I got a lot of criticism from my family and friends and people around me. It hurt so much that I ended up going back to my regular standard American diet. And I knew I wanted to be raw. I knew this lifestyle was for me. I knew, like, even if I wasn't fully raw, like, I just wanted to be embodied in it, embraced in it, and just like submerge myself in it. I loved learning about it, and it was calling me. So every single day, I would wake up and I would say, today's the day I'm going raw. And I would try and I would fail. And I would try and I would fail. Some days I would succeed. I would go weeks sometimes. I would go months sometimes. And then I would fail. And I would just keep doing it every single day. It took me 8 years of this back, like struggling, to where I finally went raw again. Then I did it for, fully raw for a year and a half. But that 8 years, do you know how much inner work I did on myself to be able to get to that point? It was like, it just shows, it reveals so much about yourself.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Wow. That's, yeah, I feel like people are going to really um, relate to that and hit home. That like that hits home for me. Like I said, I was whole food plant-based for like almost 5 years before my husband actually a year and a half ago went raw like overnight. Like, honey, I'm going raw vegan. Like, no, it wasn't a conversation. It was just I'm doing this. And I was like, wait, what? Like, we were salt, oil, and sugar free. We couldn't really go out to restaurants, mostly because before you are familiar with like the raw lifestyle, you think that eating like a bowl of fruit or just a plain salad isn't a meal, right? But obviously now we know like for breakfast and most lunches, that's what I have is a bowl of fruit. But back then I was like, that's all we can get if we go to a restaurant. I'm not even going out. Anyway, so I already felt so secluded and so like, wait, what? And then he went raw and it was the same thing for about a year. I wanted to go because I wanted to like not only like impress him, but like I feel like I was doing what he was doing almost. And he had showed me all the literature, and I was like, this is the healthiest diet. I want to do it. But I would do it for like a week, and then I would fall off. And then I'd feel so guilty and so bad that it was like, I'm not good for my mental health. So, and I would just keep doing that. And I would just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And then finally I went 30 days. And then again, I was like so proud of myself. And then I went and had some cooked food. And it was just a terrible spiral of events. Um, Whereas now, I'm 100% raw, have been for the past like, I don't know, 6 months or so. Um, and yeah, and uh, my mindset's just really changed, I think. I think that was, I was always like, I'm missing out on so much. And I would almost be so, not depressed, but like feeling sorry for myself that I like was eating this way, that I wouldn't even want to be in the kitchen like making stuff or like doing the fun creations, because I was like, it's not gonna taste good. It's not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? Where like when I switch that mindset and I'm like, I get to eat like this, I get to have energy, I get to make fun creations. Where like I'm gonna go home and there's a pizza in the dehydrator that I made this morning. Um, there's Yeah, it's really, for me, it was the mindset change. Do you feel that at all? Does that relate to you?
Yeah, I mean, we've been programmed to be addicted to cooked food since birth. So
Yeah,
for us to expect that all of us can go raw overnight without any traumas coming up, or we've numbed ourselves with food
yeah,
forever,
right,
you know? So it's like all that stuff comes up and you're like, oh shit, what I used to do to numb myself, I
right,
can't do anymore. So, like that's why it's a journey. It's a journey,
yeah,
So it's a beautiful journey too, and it's a hard journey, but through those hardships, we build strength through the adversity. I don't know how to use that word correctly, but you get what I'm
yeah,
saying. Like we're building this mental power, this mental strength, to be able to have the discipline, to say no, or to
right,
eat the way we want to eat. But it may not happen like that for everyone overnight, like to be able to just do it overnight. And I did the first
right,
time, but then I fell back because I didn't do the work. So now it's like it may be taking me longer, but I know that it's like I'm growing every day. I'm progressing every day. Like now, if I fall off raw, I no longer ever go back to dairy or eggs,
right,
so that's a huge win. Like
absolutely.
now if I fall off raw, I'm eating whole food cooked plant-based. So it has evolved, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the numbing yourself thing, that's a big thing, I think, for a lot of people. We had a talk on that last year, about food addiction, and specifically about the numbing aspect of when you're in like emotional eating, um, and things like that. But what was I saying? Sorry. I'll silence my phone here. Um, so at the retreat, one of the things, so I have to be careful how I say this, because a lot of people in the raw space, um, prefer, and it's kind of what we're preaching. Like Dr. Graham is our keynote speaker, and he definitely preaches, and my husband eats pretty much like he does, the 80-10-10, very, not basic, I don't like the word basic, but very, uh, maybe you can help me out
Natural?
with the word.
Natural?
Hygienic.
Maybe
Yeah.
hygienic, yeah, okay.
um and I can do that. I can do that for some meals and be fine. And I love just a big bowl of fruit. And I love just a salad. But I also crave that gourmet, like, look alike the cooked food. So the pizzas and the tacos and the burgers and the things like that. So that's something that I really wanted to incorporate into our retreat. So as far as the food goes, I'm very proud of this, part of it, and that's something that I like work with the chefs on. I was in the kitchen almost the whole time the last retreat, because I just love it so much. But dinner time, we'll be having always a gourmet option. So we're gonna have American night, Asian night, European night, and Mexican night. We're going to be having a lot of Lissa's from Raw Food Romance recipes, as well as Chef Ocean's recipes. Um, and it's going to be nothing short of like gourmet raw food, but also salt and oil free. There will always still be a hygienic option. So there's going to be a salad bowl bar where you like top your own greens and things and kind of pick what you want on your salad. There's going to always be a fruit bar, smoothies, juices, things like that. But having that gourmet option, having a pancake option in the morning with your fruit, having a soup to go with your salad for lunch. It's going to be
Wow.
really fun. Uh,
Wow.
so yeah, I'm really excited about that.
I'm
Uh,
excited too, because I love like the hygienic, but I also love the gourmet too.
yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's a balance, and especially like we kept going back and forth. Like how gourmet do we want it? Like, because we're preaching 80-10-10. And we came to like the agreement that people coming to the retreat, if they've been raw and more of a hygienic 80-10-10 style for 10 years, aren't going to change the way they're eating because they're at the retreat, right? That's like implanted in who they are. Where the people who are coming who are just going raw or are struggling to stay raw, they want the more fun gourmet food, especially when they're starting out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and
So,
it's not labeled as a detox retreat, it's a wellness
yeah,
retreat. Yeah. And even, I mean, and I'm going to say this for people who are transitioning to raw or who are not fully raw, even plant-based itself is a wellness lifestyle. And I just want to,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that because we're not 100. I mean, we are 100% raw as far as the food and education goes, but we're not only for raw people. People who are in the whole food plant-based and want to just come to the retreat. Like I said, there's not a lot of whole food plant-based things out there. So like being whole food plant-based at salt and oil, sugar-free, and coming to the retreat. Yeah, it's going to be raw food, but you're also going to be around people who technically are whole food plant-based. They just don't cook the food. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this. Is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I saw a video. I looked on your profile earlier. I saw a video of the grounds. It looks really beautiful
Yeah,
over the lake with the cabins and the grass. And
yes,
is there water activities?
there
I saw
are.
like some canoes. Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
So, like open. So it's like whenever it's not on the schedule. So it's like free time. There'll be canoeing, kayaking, paddle boarding, and then we'll have at least 4 times a day. There'll be like a cruise in quotation marks. It's not like a
Ooh,
cruise ship. They're
what is
pontoon
the
boats.
cruise on? Like a pontoon boat or
Yeah.
what?
So we're gonna have multiple pontoon boats going out. There'll be like a sunset cruise, a sunrise cruise, and then like two in the middle of the day.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. I'm going to be so busy running around videoing everything. I'm oh, I gotta go get this. I gotta get
Yeah, it's gonna be
this.
great. Wait, have to go on. I have to go on the cruise because it's for the video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, if there's multiple activities happening at the same time, I'm gonna have to like bounce around.
Yeah, and we're gonna have another photographer as well. So you're mostly just doing videography. Obviously, capture
Oh, okay.
pictures as much as you want to, but I want to make sure we capture like everything. So I think having
Yeah.
one more there will be good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. That's amazing. Cool. Well, yeah, I'm excited. It was so great to connect with you. I
Me
saw
too.
your face at the beginning. I can't see it now, but it's all
Oh
good.
no. Oh, one last thing, because you talked about the grounds, and I want to mention this because I never in a million years would have thought the rooms would have went so fast. Like I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
But we're 10 months away and we have 3 rooms left.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we have 2 king suites left, and they are gorgeous. They have double heads in the shower, like super fancy and luxurious and super nice. So we have 2 of those left, and then we have one of our deluxe queen rooms left, and that's it. So if you're wanting a room and you don't want a tent camp, sooner than later, I would say to sign up. We do offer no interest payment plans, so you can break it up into 6-month payments for no additional cost. We do have quite a few tent spots left, and it's beautiful, beautiful, like open fields with surrounded by trees. So that's a great option as well. And then we do have the stay off-site option, so you could like pay for your ticket and then book a hotel somewhere too.
Oh,
But
that's nice. I wanted to ask you, since I'm going to be using my phone for all the video, is there going to be, hopefully I have enough space on my phone.
right,
Um, if I need to like use a
yeah,
laptop or internet or plug in the, like charge the
so
phone,
there's
there's,
Wi-Fi.
okay. And then for like charging?
Yes. So there we'll have multiple. I don't know exactly how like where they're going to be yet, but we will have like charging stations for the tent campers, or for the people staying off site. So there's going to be probably 3 or 4 of them. One in like the dining area, one in like by the tents themselves, where there will be like power and like power strips and things like that.
And the last thing I was going to ask, okay, so it's August. What are the
August
dates?
10th through the 14th.
Okay, and they could go on to click the link in the bio. It takes them to the website.
Yes, it's vegan wellness retreats, plural.com.
Are we still using a discount code for
Yes.
yeah? Okay, so raw 100.
Yes, Raw 100, it gives you $100 off. And yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else.
Oh, and for anybody watching or watching the replay, if you're interested in hosting or attending
Yes.
for the Raw Food Worldwide Meetup, the next one is Sunday, December 8th. So just send me a DM with your city if you'd like to host at the Raw Food Worldwide Meetups Instagram page. And then the link in the bio, you can see there's a spreadsheet with all the cities that are going to be hosting. And then you can either reach out to the host, or if there's a link where you can RSVP with the details in the spreadsheet.
Oh,
So
I love that. You're so organized. That sounds amazing.
thanks.
Yay. Okay. Well,
Thank
thank you so
you.
much for doing
Thank
this.
you.
So
Yes,
nice
appreciate it.
seeing, and you don't get to see me, but I get to see you. It's so nice seeing you and meeting you for like the first time in like semi-person. And yeah, maybe we'll do another one of these as we get closer.
Okay, sounds great. I love that idea.
Okay, thanks so
Okay,
much.
bye.